Welcome to the Average Nobody's Podcast, number 83 for May 7th, 2020. Still in a pandemic, but it might be coming to an end pretty soon. With me is...
You're by yourself.
Go second.
If you guys want to know a little secret, I don't say Ryan and Adam because I want to watch you guys squirm to fight over who says it first.
Well, we're such good friends that we let each other go first, and then no one goes.
Nobody goes.
So it's just silence.
That's good.
And I'm Adam.
And that's Adam. Okay, so the pandemic looks like it could be somewhat coming to an end soon. I think it's Rhode Island is this coming weekend. They're starting the first phase, they're calling it, and then Massachusetts is the following weekend, which is great. You know, stuff's starting to get back to normal. I think that it might be a little premature in some areas, but there's really no other way you can do this. And I think that, we'll probably see a little bit of a resurgence, but I think we're going to have to work through it in different ways, and hopefully the cure comes soon. One thing I have a big issue with is the masks, and not for the reason that you might think, but I can't fucking stand all these people throwing a fucking fit about having to wear masks. Like thinking that their rights are being infringed on, like they're being treated like, and I've seen people post this, being treated like slaves is the word they use. It's a bad word to use.
It's just a mask. It's a bandana.
Stop being a fucking asshole. Stop being a dick. Just fucking wear the mask. If it's gonna help, just fucking what are they possibly taking away from you by telling you to wear a mask? What are they gaining by it? What is the government gaining by telling you to wear a fucking mask, you idiot?
It's part of the pandemic.
God, it's so dumb. I fucking hate it. It's so dumb. You're an idiot. You are an idiot. You're not someone who loves this country. You're not someone that is fighting for whatever the fuck rights, whatever. You're not. You're just an idiot. You're an asshole. You're an idiot. You're dumb. You're misinformed. And fucking most of these people have kids. And these kids are learning from them, and that's scary, and I hate it, and you're an idiot. It's stupid. Stop. Put your kid up for adoption. That's what I think.
You know what's even worse than the people that don't wear the masks are the people that wear the masks and cut out the mask part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They wear the elastic around the back of their head, and then it's just like an outline here, and the whole mask. What are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you wearing
sounds
it
good.
for? It's not doing
Or
anything.
they do it just over their mouths.
It's doing something for you there.
So their nose are exposed. It's like, well, you can still
Yeah.
I was
So
at
for
Home
you,
Depot
Pruitt.
today.
Yeah.
So I was at Home Depot today. Adam, I think you'd appreciate this. Just the first part of the story. So I was in Home Depot, and I walked in, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need a cart. I don't need a carriage. I can carry everything. So it was very difficult, but I carried
I
everything.
do that all the time.
And I'm like, well, now I can't go back, especially now with all, every store you go into, you have to walk one way. You can't just, do whatever you want. You got to go, single file one way, or, you can only go up this aisle and down that aisle, which is so stupid.
It's
You're still
so
walking
dumb.
next to people.
Nobody's listening to those rules either.
So I was leaving Home
nobody
Depot,
listens to them.
and I had, 3 bags, and, I obviously had my mask on when I was in there, and I had both my hands were full when I was walking out. So I'm walking out with my mask still on, and some old lady, is walking by me. She goes, they said you don't have to wear that outside. I was like, yeah, well, you know what, lady? You're going to die soon. I'll be here with my mask on. And clearly, I have my hands full. I just didn't get a chance to pull my mask down yet. Just leave me alone. Yeah. Well, why are you going to insert your 2 cents?
Yeah. Even if that's just somebody projecting on you. Being like, I don't want to wear my mask outside, so I'm going to tell this person they also don't have to wear their mask outside. That's what I heard. You don't have to wear your mask outside. But also, what do you, can you not breathe behind your mask? Just fucking put it. Who cares if someone else is wearing it? Lindy's parents were walking. I think they were in their front yard, and they were walking into their yard from the gate. And someone drove by in a car. This was 2 weeks ago, too. Granted, someone drove by in a car and yelled to them out the window, wear your masks. And so the first thing I asked was were these people in the car wearing masks? And she was like, no, they weren't wearing masks. And I was like, all right, well, we should probably all start wearing masks. This was before everybody was wearing masks, but I thought that was hilarious. Everybody just
Did they drive
worry about yourself. Worry about yourself.
I can't wait for the South Park season that comes of all this. It's gonna they took our jobs. It's gonna be wear your mask.
Yeah, where's your mask? Oh man,
They got a lot of material.
it's just troubling. Ryan, I sent you one this morning. It's a friend that we usually share his screenshots. I won't say his name because I don't know. He could be listening, I guess. But like,
Just
he wraps everything up into a political statement, like an ill-advised political statement, and it's the dumbest shit that I've ever seen. Just where it's not the big deal. People, look at me. This is a video now, youtube.com/theaveragenobodies. Just fucking wear your mask. If they ask you to wear a mask, wear a fucking mask. If that means we can go to hot clubs sooner, wear a goddamn fucking mask. That's all I gotta say about that.
You're not being a sheep just by following what the government's saying. It's okay. No one's gonna think any less of you if you go out and wear a mask. You don't need to bring your AK-47 to the state house. Everything's gonna be okay if you just either stay at home or wear a mask.
What is? I don't.
Our grandparents were asked to go defend our country in Japan and Europe, and we're being asked to stay home with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, and it's still too much for people.
The internet.
Yeah, right. The internet.
Unlimited possibilities.
Whatever you want to do.
We could be like the people in the fucking lighthouse. We could be like Defoe and fucking Robert Pattinson. We'll get into that later. And just fucking have nothing. But yeah, like how insecure do you have to be to think that someone telling you to wear a mask that's for your own good and for other people, more for other people than yourself,
right?
And you think it's infringing on your fucking rights? Go fuck yourself. What have we been watching this week? I've been watching the show Dave. It's originally on FX, and it is fucking awesome. A friend of mine, Chad, shout out Chad, he recommended it to me like a bunch of times. He kept talking about it, and he watched it like at the time he told me to watch it, he had watched it twice, back to back, all 10, so 20 episodes back to back, and it's a fantastic show. It's about, and I don't know, Ryan, you watched it. Adam, have you seen any of it yet?
Have you seen it?
I've seen, so Derek told me about it, and I've seen clips of it, and it's what I've seen is funny. I just haven't watched it yet. I got a fun piece of trivia for you about it once you guys talk about it.
So maybe we should just scrap everything else, and Matt, me and you will just talk about Dave.
This is like the Tiger King last week. We're gonna talk about Tiger King again this week, Adam. I mean, did you watch it yet? No.
No, I still haven't watched it. I'm watching other things.
But Dave is awesome.
I'm past the point now. It's not even cool anymore. Nobody's talking about it.
No one's talking about it.
It was never cool. It's just insane.
Maybe, but it's gonna ramp back up again now that we'll get to that later. But Dave is a show created by the rapper Lil Dicky. It's about Lil Dicky and the real life person Dave Bird. It's so funny, so well done, so much heart. I can't say enough good things about it. It's about him, like it's essentially about his life right now, like where he's at right now with his fame. Like he is famous, like every once in a while people will come up to him in the show and take pictures with him, which is hilarious. And then like, but he's still not like, big time. He's not making like tons of money. Well, that could change now. But it's really cool. And it reflects his life like to a T. Like, all the stuff that he talks about in the show is stuff that's happened in his real life, which I thought was very, very cool.
So I actually read that this style, like, they wanted Donald Glover's Atlanta to be like Dave. And Donald Glover came to them with, like, his critically acclaimed show and like, oh, okay, let's do this instead. So now they have they have what they wanted in Dave, and they got something, a little more like something that gets critically acclaimed with Atlanta. So they hit it out of the park twice with Dave in Atlanta.
And I was telling Matt, it reminds me of Atlanta mixed with Louis.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Which another FX show, but yeah, that's funny that that's what they wanted, because it's like similar to, it's like more comical than Atlanta. But I can see it was very similar to me how they do it. But
the reason why I said it reminded me of Louis is because when Louis C.K. was doing his show, we would always talk about this, that he had so much control over it. He was, he decided what the score was. He decided what what was written, what was shot, what was edited. He was like the man behind it. And it seems like Dave Bird did the same thing with this show. Like it's largely based on his life, like his upbringing, his current life, his personal problems. Like everything is just laid out there, and I think that he chose to do all that, and you could tell that a bunch of his own friends are in the show. Adam, Taco, Odd Future's DJ. Remember him when we saw Odd Future in Providence?
Vaguely.
He was the DJ. He's his best friend in the show, and I think they're friends in real life as well. But DJ Els, and he's a DJ in real life. His name's Taco, Young Taco.
Did you see who the co-creator was?
Who is it?
Jeff Schaefer.
Who is that?
So that's the guy. That's the guy who created the league.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's why it has that, and I think he like wrote one of the episodes, or he's like a producer and everything. So I think that's where some of the humor and the like that really crisp, like funny dialogue comes from.
Yeah, I can see that.
That definitely helps because I actually started rewatching the league last night at like 1 in the morning
awesome.
and I couldn't fall asleep.
The League is so funny. It's a great show.
And I noticed I'm like Jeff Schaefer. I put 2 and 2 together. Pretty impressive.
Funny.
Nice detective work.
Thank you.
It's very impressive.
Detective Ryan.
So I've been watching Dave, and I've also been watching Scrubs. I don't know if I talked about this last week, but I've been continuing watching Scrubs because they're doing Zach Braff and Don Faison are doing a podcast, and it's a rewatch, and so I've been listening to the podcast per episode and also watching the show. So that's what I've been.
I've never seen
It's
Scrubs.
very good. It's very, very good. Good music, although the more now because it was shot early 2000 or late 90s, early 2000s. And the show had all this really great music from unknown artists, like music that, Ryan, you would definitely be really into. Adam, I think you would like it as well. It's
sad?
all very sad music. It is. And
There you go.
it's very good, but as time went on, it fell out of licensing. So depending on where you watch the show, like songs change per like scene. Like in like certain like really pivotal scenes, I remember watching it like being like, oh, that song was so good in that, and you rewatch it and you're like, oh fuck, like that's not the song anymore. Hulu has a lot of the shit changed, but that's the easiest way to watch it right now. But it's still good.
So it's on Hulu?
It's on Hulu.
Tim Madden swears by that
Yeah.
show. That's like one of his go-to comedies.
It is the foundation for all single camera comedy sitcoms. It is the gold standard when it comes to that, and it was also like one of the originators of doing that genre really well. So it's very, very, very good.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been watching that, and the podcast is awesome. Zach Braff is so cool, and Don Faison is such a nice guy. They've been bringing on different guests from the show, and that's fun.
Is it better than Chuck?
I have never seen Chuck, but I know that Connor has all the seasons on DVD, which is a weird move. But
As
and
if
everybody
like
loves Raymond.
and everybody loves
As
Raymond.
if
Oh, everybody loves Raymond. At least
streaming
it's
was never gonna pick
that's
it
a critically acclaimed sitcom. It was on for years and years and
yeah,
years.
it's popular.
Yeah.
Chuck.
I think Connor was one of 2 people to watch
Yeah.
Chuck.
He had to call the studio to have him put it on DVD for him.
They're like, we weren't gonna make them. I don't know. Nobody's gonna watch these.
No one.
You gotta pay double. You gotta pay a lot more than regular price to get these.
Ryan, what have you been watching?
So I've been watching Dave. It's a show that was on FX about a rapper named. No, on your recommendation, I did watch all 10 episodes of Dave, and can't recommend enough. Awesome stuff. I watched a movie on Amazon. It wasn't that good, but I watched it, so I included it in my list. It was called A Most Wanted Man.
I saw the preview for this on Amazon.
Yeah, it's and the cast is unreal. Like even characters that only have like 1 or 2 scenes, it's crazy. So the main character is Philip Seymour Hoffman, and he plays he's like a spy in Hamburg, Germany. And it's like it's very like post 9/11 vibe where there's still like high security alerts, and they're still on high alert for terrorist attacks, especially in Europe. And this Muslim jihadi, or who they thought was a jihadi, like comes into the city. They catch him on the security cameras, and then it's just kind of like follows him around with like Phillips. Is it Philip Seymour?
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So he played, because I had you on my phone as Philip Seymour Vieira for a long time, so now I mixed the names up. And then once he died, I was like, I should probably change that. And Rachel McAdams is in it. She plays a lawyer. Willem Dafoe's in it. He's strangely normal, not shitting and farting and everything. Who else? There's just like a ton of people in it. It was okay. I don't know. I guess if you have nothing to do for a couple hours, watch it. But I don't know. The cast, I think gives it too high of expectations. And then every Wednesday, I know wrestling's kind of fallen off the radar with no crowds, But I have to praise AEW. Their Dynamite, which is their weekly show on Wednesdays, has been absolutely fantastic. And it was great again last night. It's on TNT, 8 to 10 every Wednesday. There's no crowds, but like it still is like a really, really good, entertaining show. And in every facet of where WWE has faltered during this, AEW has picked up the slack. So if there's any wrestling fans listening and you haven't checked out AEW yet, I would watch it. And the next pay-per-view is going to be Saturday, May 23rd.
Cool.
Don't they have like other wrestlers as the crowd?
Yeah,
like people
so
that,
it's not just like...
That's pretty cool. Like,
not
that's
just
better than having
people,
nobody there.
And you just hear like, ta, ha, hit, like, you know, the people wrestling. So you can hear people in the crowd, and there's like a storyline where a couple of the wrestlers like bet on the matches. So they go to them for like, you know, one-off segments and stuff. They're just doing a really good job of it. So I wanted to mention that. And that's
cool.
Pretty much it.
Cool.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
So I've been a busy boy on the television. So I'll start with some shows that I've been watching. I'll start with one that, you know, I'm trying to dive into, but I don't know how far I'm going to make it. It's called Community. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's Donald Glover was in it, and Joel McHale is the lead. What's his face? Chevy Chase is in it too. And so this show was on a while ago, and it had 6 seasons. And like, it's one of those I feel like should be better, but it's just not. It's not grabbing me. You know what I think it is? I think it's Joel McHale, because he plays like this handsome, cocky guy. Like, he's basically trying to be Ryan Reynolds, but he's not handsome enough to be Ryan Reynolds, so it doesn't hit home. Like I find the other characters better than him, but I don't know how far I'm going to make it with it. And interesting about this, the co-creators are the Russo brothers, a la the Avengers, and Dan Harmon, who is a creator of Rick and Morty. So that's an odd combo, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Do you find any of the humor like in there from Dan Harmon? Like any of that like kind of Rick and Morty humor?
Not really. Not really. They're very, very different shows.
I've heard good things about it. I've never seen a lick of it. I know the GIF. That's it. Where like he walks in, the whole room's on fire. I know that GIF very well. Where Joel McHale walks in, everything's on fire. Or no, Donald Glover walks in. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. I haven't gotten there. I'm not familiar with the GIF either.
it's very funny.
But actually,
How far
speaking
are
of
you,
Rick,
Adam?
I'm still in season 1.
Because I've heard a lot of good things about it. I think it's one of those things you gotta... Because a lot of, even like the classic comedies, like a Parks and Rec, The Office, like season 1, The Office season 1 I really like, but a lot of them took like a season to get their footing. And then the characters really kind of became their own. The writers kind of knew how to write for them. So maybe it's one of those
Look at
things.
this. Look at The Sopranos. The Sopranos, the first season was originally supposed to be written for TV, like for network.
It was like it was like The Simpsons, right? Like R-rated Simpsons.
Yeah,
and then
season 2 takes its
Wow.
time.
Yeah. So I've also been watching Castle Rock. I finished it, Castle Rock season 2 on Hulu. So I'm like, I recommended it to Ryan's wife Holly because she's into like the Stephen King stuff like I am, but it's based on Stephen King characters and settings. And season 1 was really good, but I thought season 2 was even better. I thought it was going to be like sort of an anthology series, but they tie the two of them together so well. Like it's I can't recommend that enough. If you're into scary stuff and Stephen King, like the Castle Rock series is really good.
Better than season 1?
I thought it was better than season 1.
I haven't seen either.
It was filmed in Massachusetts, no?
Yeah, filmed in Massachusetts. Well, I think all over New England, but yeah. And it meshes the two books that it meshes together of Stephen King's is Salem's Lot, which I haven't read yet, and Misery, which is the Kathy Bates, also the Kathy Bates movie, and the lead for this season plays Kathy Bates' character, but she's in her 30s and it's set in present day. So it's like they switch it up a little bit, and then they add in the stuff from Salem's Lot, which I've moved up to the top of my reading list, which it's really good. You know who else is in it too, Ryan? Actually, Tim Robbins is in it. this year. The remember, I think his name was Mickey in Boardwalk Empire. The guy that they always busted his balls.
Oh, the really annoying guy.
With the
he's in it.
Yeah.
He's really good in it too.
Mickey was hilarious in Boardwalk.
He was in. I don't know if you guys ever saw the what's the political? Kevin Spacey was the president.
Fuck the Netflix show.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't think of it. Well,
I forgot it.
So he was in
House
that
of Cards.
House of Cards. So he was in that in like a very serious role, like he was like a writer.
Oh.
But yeah, I like him as an actor.
Do you like Kevin Spacey?
I love Kevin Spacey.
I've also been watching. I'm halfway through season 3 of Mr. Robot, and it's been fucking awesome. I fell off the rails with this show after season 2, and I was a big fan. Matt and I were in on the ground floor of the show.
Absolutely,
when it came out.
Absolutely true. And I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me or you up until yesterday before you started watching. Like we stopped it for season 2, and we fucking adore the show, and then we just don't continue to watch. I don't understand us.
Right.
You know why I can't watch it? I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you.
That's okay.
Christian Slater.
I have some input. No, I like Christian Slater. The sound, I can't. It's too like intense. Like not the dialogue, like all the way they do the music in the it just throws me off because I have to keep adjusting the volume because then I can't hear the dialogue.
You know what?
And then
yeah, go ahead.
It just I don't know. It's too much. So I'm like This is a chore. Like I just want to put the remotes down and watch.
So the last episode I watched was the 5th episode of season 3, and the entire episode was shot like it was one shot, a whole hour. It was awesome. It was really
very
awesome.
Creative. I like they do a great job, and I like the acting. I don't know, the sound just throws me off.
Yeah, and for movies, I watched Honey Boy at Ryan's recommendation. I thought it was really good with Shia LaBeouf and his life. I thought that was awesome. I watched Point Break, which I've been dying to watch. I'll get into that with you in a second, Matt. But I also watched this movie called Arizona. It's on HBO right now with Danny McBride is in it. And so it takes place in the late 2000s, around the time of the housing market crash. And Danny McBride plays this guy. And he's, with Danny McBride, all his characters like crazy people, right? But this time, he's the bad guy, and he's crazy. And it's pretty funny. It's got its moments. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes long, so if you're trying to kill an hour and 20, it's pretty good. So he's a guy who's like 2 divorces. His health is he's got no money. His businesses went to shit. His house isn't worth anything, and so he's fucking pissed at the guy that sold him the house. And so he goes to the real estate office and confronts him about it, and it gets dark from there.
Okay. All right. I'm in for that.
It's pretty good.
I'm definitely into that.
And it's quick. And then I wanted to... Matt and I were texting about this the other day. Ryan, you're a big Point Break fan too. How much do you think... I mean, now that unfortunately Patrick Swayze's dead, R.I.P. But how much do you think that they missed the boat? The Point Break could have been Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
right?
They weren't they didn't have the foresight.
Yeah, that's
I guess Vin Diesel did.
That's exactly what it is.
Right?
Oh my god! I would have watched, and it could have got crazier and crazier.
You want a second one? Bodhi survives that huge wave, flips Utah. Utah's a bad guy, just like Brian flips sides.
Exactly. It was
monster franchise.
It was Fast and Furious before Fast and Furious was Fast and Furious. But to be fair, Ryan, exactly what came to my mind was foresight. They didn't have the foresight at the time. It was the times of what movies were coming out then. A lot of one-offs, not a lot of sequels outside of family movies. And you don't, even Vin Diesel, to his credit, he put together Fast and Furious and kept that shit going, and now it's a $1 billion fucking franchise, multi-billion-dollar franchise. But after Fast and Furious 1, I don't think he thought that it was going to go on for 9, 10 more and a spin-off. He
wasn't even into.
Right, that's the thing. He gets back into it after Tokyo Drift, but he still had the foresight to keep the franchise going, and it is what it is because of him. And starting with 4, Fast and Furious became its own fucking has its own gravitational pull at this point. But Point Break would have been, dare I say, a better franchise long run than Fast and Furious, because you can dabble in cars. Because at this point, Fast and Furious has nothing to do with fucking cars anymore. It has nothing to do with cars.
Right? No, nothing. They started off stealing DVD players, and now they kill people for the government.
Literally DVD players, and then they throw in Scott Eastwood like we weren't going to notice one of the fucking movies. Anyway, I could go on for it.
I don't know if they could have got Patrick Swayze back though. Like, I think he was too big of a star to because back you just didn't do sequels. It was one-offs, like you said. Like Keanu was just starting.
Yeah.
But I mean, Patrick Swayze, that's post Dirty Dancing, post Roadhouse, post Ghost. I think that's just a lot to ask of him to be like, hey, keep coming back and filming these.
You're not wrong.
But a 20-something-year-old Keanu, they had it all.
Man. Keanu.
With him and Swayze. Jen was a little critical of his performance, but I defended him. I told Jen that he was nominated for best actor. He was nominated for best picture. She didn't buy it.
Yeah. Well,
it is a great movie. It holds up too.
It does hold up.
It does. It really does.
Oh. Not the sequel, but the remake or the reboot was a shame. It was a fucking goddamn shame.
That was a
I got halfway through it and there was no surfing. I'm like, well, why is this movie named Point Break?
What are we doing here?
I missed.
That's my question. Hey, Adam, just go back to Castle Rock quick. Is Jane Levy in Castle Rock season 2, or is that season 1? Or is she not in it at all?
Okay, so Jane Levy is in Castle Rock season 1. And she's in every episode, and she's good in it, right? And then they leave you hanging at the end of season 1. She's in an end credit scene in season 1. And they lead you to believe that she'll be involved in season 2, but she's not in season 2 at all. So Jane Levy plays, and if you're familiar with The Shining, her name is Jackie Torrance, and her uncle drove out to Colorado with his family, went crazy, and destroyed a hotel.
That's fucking awesome.
So she is a relative of Jack Torrance.
I didn't know that.
And they end the season with Jane Levy saying, well, a little spoiler alert, she axes somebody in the head at one point in the series, and it awakens something in her inner writer, just like Jack. And so she decides she's going to drive cross country to Colorado, writing the whole way at the end of the season 1. So that's what I thought season 2 was going to be.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're building to that sometime in the future, but that's what I'm really hoping for. That would be awesome.
I'm such a big fan of hers. She's been in a few movies that I've really enjoyed. She was also in season 1 of Shameless. Only season 1, and then they changed her character from season 2 on. But I can't wait. I want her to make her big break, her big break, because I think she's awesome.
Batgirl.
Oh, she would be a fantastic Batgirl. So good. That's a great casting right there. So is that it? Is that all you've been watching?
That's all I got. That's all I can remember. But I've been watching a lot of TV.
All right, let's get into the top stories here, because we got a few good ones. We'll start with the Tiger King news, because I don't want to keep Adam bored for too long. But Nick Cage has officially been casted as Joe Exotic in a movie about Joe Exotic's the events of the Tiger King in Joe Exotic's life.
So fast. You
gotta jump on it.
Is it a movie or a TV show?
Yeah, was it a TV show, not a movie?
Yeah, because I think CBS is doing it, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. I don't think as much as this is fantastic and I love it, and Nick Cage is perfect to play him, even though he's probably not, but it's still perfect. I don't know if we really need a story about Joe Exotic. I feel like the documentary gave us the real fucking thing. Why do we need the narrative version? You know what I mean?
See, I disagree. I want to see how over the top Nick. Also, how insane is it? What are I would have thought by now Nick Cage would have already played a character named Joe Exotic in some type of just picture it. Sorry, so close your eyes, right? You've never seen Joe Exotic before. I'm gonna describe someone to you. He's a gay meth head who owns a tiger farm, and his name's Joe Exotic. Who's gonna play him?
It's
Nicolas Cage.
Or whatever that character's name is from Con Air. Whatever his character's name is from Con Air, dye his hair blonde, turn it into a mullet, and that's him. Oh, God.
I can't wait. I'm so happy this is happening. I'm so excited.
I love Nick
And I
Cage.
think
I
it's
love
going to
Nick
be
Cage.
so great. I do too. And you know what? The thing with him is he is a very like he takes acting very seriously, even though it may look like cartoonish and ridiculous to us. Like he doesn't half-ass things. Sometimes he goes a little too over the top, but I think he's gonna. This is gonna be something.
He is a bizarre man, but I love him.
He is.
So that's great. Next up here, so on Star Wars Day, they announced that Taika Waititi is going to direct and co-write a new Star Wars feature film. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Thor Ragnarok was great. I think Taika Waititi is like he's not really upcoming. He's already like established himself, but he's very funny. He's a very good director. He has like a knack for blending the action and the comedy in a way that Star Wars has always done really well, I think. And I think that he'll bring what he brought to Thor Ragnarok to that. Also, Jojo Rabbit is fucking awesome. And What We Do in the Shadows, I don't know if you guys have ever watched that. It's very funny. And he's in it. It's a show about vampires. Very, very funny.
It took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out how to pronounce his name. I was
vowels.
Takai Wata.
Do you not think I was just screaming in my own head when I nailed it the first time? I fucking have been practicing all day for this. Taika Waititi. And he sounds like what an Ewok would say. Oh no, not an Ewok, a Jawa.
Where is he from?
New Zealand?
I'll look it up. You
It's either
continue
New
on.
Zealand or South America?
New Zealand.
Is it New Zealand? There we go. Nailed it. So he's co-writing it, and he's going to be directing the new thing. What I thought was cool about this headline, the whole headline is Academy Award winner Taika Waititi to direct and co-write new Star Wars feature film for theatrical release. It's funny, in 2020, in the year of our Lord 2020, they have to say for theatrical release. They have to make that distinction. Right. Because now movies are coming straight to digital. There's limited run, TV episodic shows that are more like movies. But this is going to be a traditional theatrical release for a Star Wars movie. It's not coming straight to Disney Plus. So.
Oh yeah, well they got to make their money.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, they could still put it online, and people would still pay. Like we were talking about last week or 2 weeks ago. People are still going to pay the premium. Right. But to know that it's coming to theaters is it's interesting. They have to make that distinction now.
Yeah, that is cool. And then obviously Tom Cruise is going to be filming a movie in space.
Obviously,
as one does. He's sick of this Earth that has bored him, and he is now moving to the international. So I guess the goal from the article I read, he's teaming up with NASA and Elon Musk. So he's gonna take the SpaceX rocket to the International Space Station. And they're going to try and film a movie there. I mean, I
got to imagine Tom Cruise is uninsurable. Like, you can't insure Tom Cruise.
No.
Right?
Like Lloyd's of London, like life insurance policy or something.
You guys haven't seen the Mission Impossible movies, have you?
I have. I've only seen the first one.
I've seen all of them.
The first one.
Have you? You're full of shit.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
I've seen the last 3 or 4 in theaters. I love them.
In the last one with Henry Cavill in it, is the best one. It was absolutely insane. The part where he does the jump out of the plane, that's fucking real. He jumps from as high as you can possibly jump in an airplane, and they film the whole. It's insane.
He did his.
You have to follow the. Sorry, not to interrupt. The director, Christopher McQuail.
Oh yeah,
McQuarrie.
They got him for the next 2 or 3 movies. The next 2 or 3 Mission Impossibles.
He's on Twitter, Christopher McQuarrie. And if you tweet him something, he gives insane Tom Cruise behind the scenes things, because they're there was in the last one he's full on sprinting across a building, and someone tweets him, they're like, hey, Chris, did Tom really do that? He's like, yep, he actually broke his foot 8 weeks prior to that, and still insisted on filming the scene as was written. And just was filming with things exploding behind him. He leapt across a bit. It's insane. He's just an insane human.
He does all his own helicopter stunts.
Yeah.
That's not a stunt where he throws himself through a fake sugar glass window. He's piloting a helicopter. and doing all his own stunts.
There's a hell of a helicopter scene.
I know. I've seen this. I don't
so
know what
good.
I was watching, but they had a whole like a featurette of behind the scenes of that whole like scene. He's doing all these stunts himself, and the stunt coordinators are explaining how dangerous this is, even for a perfectly trained professional helicopter pilot. And he is a helicopter pilot, Tom Cruise, but like fuck, like goddamn, like helicopters are not the safest fucking thing. Like, God damn it, how is he? How do you do that?
When I saw that in theaters, I was like this
Oh man.
the whole time.
Especially knowing that he's doing it. You see other movies like well they got to you're worried for the stunt double, but it's like Tom's really doing that. He's
And how do you do that and
Really?
act? How do you like, you know what I mean? Like,
not act petrified.
if my hair was at the stick of a helicopter and I was going straight down like a canyon, I would just be fucking. My face would just look petrified. Is this director? Does the scene call for me to look like I'm pissing my pants? Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, I can do that. He's insane.
He's insane. So
I'm very excited for that. I don't know what it's gonna. There's not like it just came out the story, so I don't think they have any like plot details or anything like that. But
is it for?
I believe it's
Is it
gonna happen.
for an upcoming Mission Impossible movie, or is it for a different movie?
No, it's different.
Wow. I would have guessed that would be put in a Mission Impossible movie.
I know.
I don't know if they can get enough actors.
What's going to be the first franchise to go to space? Is it going to be Mission Impossible, or is it going to be Fast and Furious?
I don't know. It's
Fast
a
and
race.
Furious
It's an
will
armed
pretend
space
it's
race.
Oh,
Fast and the Furious will have a plot that they're in space, but they'll be filming it
right.
on
Yeah,
Earth.
of course.
Mission Impossible will actually be filmed. In
Tom Cruise
space.
doesn't want to cut any corners. That motherfucker. What a crazy
No.
person.
Matt, how long do you think before the Fast and Furious, like one of their villains is extraterrestrial? How long before that happens?
You know what? Honestly, we joke about it. That's not far fetched. I feel like we're not. I feel like we're not far. We're really not far. With like, I'm listen. I wouldn't be surprised if we watched the next one and Tej, fucking Ludacris's character, just pulls off like a Tej mask and he's an alien.
The jet ski salesman, who's all of a sudden a tech genius.
Oh my god, he's using his phone to like. Remember, he's in Brazil one of the movies, and he just presses a button and all the money shoots out of the fucking ATM. Who the fuck does that? No one can really do that. No, you're an idiot.
No.
An ATM doesn't have the
works.
type of mechanism to make money shoot out of an ATM like that. That's not how
does
it
not.
happens. Oh god. Oh, okay. So last two.
So I just added these two. I couldn't remember if we talked about it last week or not, but it's on here anyway. Demolition Man 2. Straight from Stallone's
Just
mouth.
casually.
Ryan, you had to have seen this movie.
No, I've seen it. I
Demolition
was just
Man.
kidding. Yeah,
Oh.
it's fantastic.
Well, they gotta have Wesley Snipes back, right? I can't remember. Does he die?
You
in
have.
that?
No, he doesn't die.
I don't
I don't
remember.
think. We have to write him back into it.
Well,
Obviously,
he's on a comeback tour now. He's doing Blade, and he was in Dolomite.
Wait, he's not doing.
So
Wesley Snipes not doing
yeah.
Blade, is he? It's.
He's
No.
gonna be in it.
I mean, I guess he would probably be in it, but it's what's his name that's doing it? Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh, he'll be in it. Yeah, you're
Wesley
right.
Snipes
He'll
will be in
definitely be in it.
Well, Stallone,
Blade's
Wesley
father.
Snipes. You think they can get Sandra Bullock back
I
for
don't
Demolition Man
think
2?
Sandra Bullock's doing much, to be honest.
I don't think they want her back. They always go young. They always go younger with like what if there's like a female like not main character. They always do. It's like it's her daughter or it's her.
That's true, I guess.
They just it's Hollywood.
Yeah. You know what I
don't know
can't
why.
wait for out of this movie though is the all types of promotions out of Taco Bell. Because in the movie, Taco Bell is the fanciest restaurant in America. So I can't wait for all the promotions
That's
they
gonna
do.
be great. Maybe they'll bring back the
If I can get a
Like
free
us.
taco, I'll
Maybe
be
the-
happy.
Like a Stallone flavored Mountain Dew or something.
Stallone sweat flavored. Maybe they'll bring back the
this is
the
bad.
blackjack taco, and I can forever not like have that
Ooh.
over my head that I never got one.
So
And
bothers
last
you,
but
huh?
not least is a trailer I saw. Ryan saw it. He sent it to me too. It's called Lovecraft Country on HBO. J.J. Abrams is producing it. And who else, Ryan?
Jordan Peele.
Spielberg? Huh?
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. That's a great combo. Like, I'm just excited for it. I don't know much about the H.P. Lovecraft stuff. People, in Rhode Island get their dicks hard about it
That is
because he was from Rhode Island. But I really don't know much about it. Maybe one day I'll dabble into it. But the trailer looks awesome. It's right up my alley, right up my weird alley, and it's got Omar / Chucky White / I don't know, any number of his HBO characters in it. What's that actor's name, Ryan?
Michael C. Williams.
Michael K. Williams.
Michael C. Williams.
Michael K. Williams.
That's his brother, Michael C. Williams.
It's the same name except the middle is just C instead of a K.
Yeah. The trailer is fantastic.
Yeah.
Which I have to imagine Jordan Peele had something to do with it.
Do we know if it's a...
Yeah,
Sorry, do we know if it's a one-off? Is it going to be like a Watchmen?
A limited series? I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, it's coming in August, so let's see.
Looks good.
Another HBO show I'm excited to get into is Westworld Season 3. That show I like to wait until it's all done to watch it, because like I'll watch 4 or 5 of those at once because I'll drive myself crazy. I'll end up hating it if I only watch one at a time.
Like to get the resolutions right away.
All
right, well that's it for news this week. Oh, good packed news week. Good stuff right there. So we watched 2 movies this week. Right? We watched 2. What did we decide on? We decided on 2.
Yeah, 2.
So
Extraction and The Lighthouse.
Yes, correct. So we'll start with Extraction. So Extraction is a Netflix movie starring Thor, aka I wanted to say Charlie Hunnam. That's not his name. What is his name?
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
And it's just a killing fiesta. That's all it is.
Did you like it? I thought it was a good action movie.
No. Terrific action scenes. I think it lacked what movies like Point Break have, and movies like Demolition Man, like what we were just talking about. Like I think it lacks the pieces of a good like tight action movie. I think that some of the story was just like fell flat to me, but the action scenes were fucking incredible. I thought they were really, really good.
I think the reason it didn't make that personal, like, it didn't make a personal connection because he had already lost everything. Yeah. The main guy, Tyler Rake, he lost everything. So like he didn't start caring about that kid until like the end of the second act of the movie. You know,
there's gonna be spoilers.
He didn't start caring about that kid until he found out he wasn't getting paid.
Right.
Basically.
I don't know. I disagree. I disagree. I thought it brought a little bit of heart to it.
But I liked it too. You know what I mean? Give me a mindless dude movie any day of the week, and I'll watch it.
Well, it's from one of your pals, Joe Russo. He wrote it.
Yeah, one of the Avengers guys. And so at the end, that's him, right? They got to make an Extraction too.
Yeah, they already are. It's already in the works.
Sorry, guys.
I didn't know that.
Dopey. Yeah.
So one thing that bothered me about the story, I was fine with him caring about the kid. I had a feeling that it was going to go that route anyway. Like, that's fine. But the guy who is also chasing the kid down, who wants to help him,
Sajo.
Why in the fuck are they fighting each other? Why couldn't they just be like, hey, we're taking the kid back to the same person? Like, let's take him.
Because that guy's boss. Yeah, they weren't.
They weren't.
He was taking him back to the guy who was in jail as boss, and then Chris Hemsworth was taking him back.
The guy who was in jail is the kid's father.
Right. So the guy working alone, the other guy working alone, he was taking him back for the father, and then Chris Hemsworth's team got duped into taking the kid. Remember, because they weren't going to pay him.
Right.
For doing it.
So he was just
so they were for the bag. They
used him to get him out of like direct captivity.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
And then the other guy was going to come in and take him.
Basically thinking that like Tyler Rake was going to be like a pushover and he could just take him easily.
Right. So that got lost on me. That I was lost with that. That didn't quite click with me.
So I think Tyler Rake should have been the one with the family being held. Like, if you don't do this, you're dead. Or they're dead.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
instead his motivation
was other guy.
Instead his motivation was he had nothing to lose. Is what you're saying.
Right. Like I was bummed when that guy died. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then you kind of feel like his family's probably dead too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's what happens.
I thought
That's what happens when you're a mercenary killing machine.
you brought this up, Adam. He killed how many people?
Like 500
And so
people. I wish I was counting.
killing police and militia alike, just everybody. Just everybody was dying.
Just everybody, everywhere he shot, somebody was dead. He didn't miss.
I like the more realistic like gunfight scenes we've been getting from like John Wick movies and like this. I like this thing where when they're really close and they hold the pistol up over their head and they're going pa 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 pa. Like it's not like when you think like when you do like fake guns, like you point it right here, you hold it out in front of you, you got your arm extended, you pew 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 pew. He's going like this. He's coming at an angle from up top and he's going pop 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 and then he's fucking switching.
They're like, they're holding the gun sideways like this.
Like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
No, it was a super good action movie. I thought the action in it was great. The stunts and the special effects and all that stuff. I thought that was really cool. Just, the story wasn't there, but it was a fun watch. I was glad I watched it. It was a great like Netflix middle of the week. Put something on.
I don't even think not that the story wasn't there. I think that just some things got lost on me. I put on subtitles just so I can understand everybody again.
Yeah, me too.
Do you guys think that they needed the David Harbour scenes?
No, especially not him as a bad guy.
Right.
Like,
and then you fucking kill him in his own house?
Like, did he have to betray him?
I don't know. I don't know if that needed to happen. Also, like, he kept talking about his wife. Did he actually have a wife?
I don't know.
Like, she didn't even...
He struck me as, like, a very big con man who just, like, lied. He's lied in so many circles that he doesn't even know who he is anymore.
Right. He's like his wife's upstairs, but we didn't hear... Usually when someone has a wife in there, you hear from them or whatever, like...
Is she okay?
She's not there. She's not there.
She ain't there.
Okay, so Extraction is good. If you're a fan of one-shots, there's a really cool one-shot through... I don't even know what city they're in, but they're going through a city, and he's
the
got
car,
the kid. Yeah, he's got
somewhere in India.
He's got the kid with him. It's fucking awesome. Really fucking cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then that end bridge fight scene, too, is pretty badass as well. That's on Netflix. Check it out if you got Netflix.
Yes.
Or steal someone's Netflix. All right, The Lighthouse. Oh wait, hold on.
Matt, what'd you think?
Wait. Extraction. What do you guys give it? Let's do thumbs. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs. I can't see your thumb, Ryan. Put it in the screen. More to your left. There you
Matt,
go.
I can't see yours either.
Really?
Can you see it?
Where the fuck? Oh, sorry.
So I'm going like this.
Camera. Yeah, I'm like just a little bit above perfect medium, I think.
I would say like 70%.
Yeah, I give it somewhere in the 70s. I think that's astute.
Because the action does I think the action at least for me took over more of like what the plot didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That
and
movie
I
knew
just like
exactly
Chris
what it
Hemsworth,
was.
Yeah.
It knew exactly
You're not
what it
watching
was.
Shawshank.
Too.
This is
Nah.
Okay. Cool. All right, The Lighthouse. We're doing a Robert Pattinson double feature, and let me tell you something. Robert Pattinson, like in the last one, he was pretty disturbing. This is going to say something. He wasn't the most disturbing character in this movie.
No, he wasn't.
No.
It was William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe was nuts in this movie. How about that monologue he had when he was all pissed off that Robert Pattinson said he was a bad cook?
Oh yeah.
Basically, like cursed him, his entire existence, everything about him.
You like me lobster. Say you like me lobster. Say it. You like me lobster. Right? He's trying to make him say he likes the way he cooks lobster. Oh my god, it was insane.
For that scene, it almost turned into I felt like I was watching a married couple.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. For that scene, or a couple scenes in it, but I don't know if Willem Dafoe was meant to be an old timey sailor / sea god, but boy, does he fit that role very well.
He definitely does.
Mm-hmm. So Matt, what I like when I Ryan said Ryan lost it a little bit on this one, and I thought I had a decent grasp on it. So I thought it was like a Robert Pattinson's in purgatory, and he's trying to the top of the lighthouse is heaven, and Willem Dafoe is God or something. Mm-hmm. And he's putting him through tests to get him up there, to see if he deserves to go up there or not. And I wasn't quite on it, so I looked it up, what the meaning was. And so, it's a story. It's like an old Greek story, and Willem Dafoe is like Poseidon or something, right, Ryan? Like a sea god.
Yes.
And Robert Pattinson is Prometheus, and he wants to take the light the light from the lighthouse and give it to humans, like the same way Prometheus took fire from the gods and brought it to the humans. And that was like that scene at the end where like that was his hell, basically, just being eaten alive every day by seagulls, similar to what Prometheus's fate was, like being eaten alive every day.
That's fucking crazy.
I
like that.
It made me understand the story a little better. I don't know how I was supposed to get there on my own.
Right.
I mean,
like if you're not familiar with that story, you don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's just over my head
either.
But I'm watching, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
There's a lot. I think even if you don't know that story, which I didn't know that story, but it makes a lot of sense. I came up with more of the like Ryan, did you say it, the purgatory thing, or was that Adam?
Adam.
The purgatory thing made total sense to me. That's originally what I thought. I was like, because like the lighthouse is the main set piece here. So I was trying to think of like, what does that symbolize? And like purgatory makes total sense, and heaven and hell, whatever. But I think there's a lot of like surface level things you can take from this too. It's just a really good, like, I enjoyed it. I did. It's very weird and very strange. I really liked it. Robert Eggers is the director. He also wrote it. If you've ever seen The Witch, he does the same thing in this that he does in The Witch. It's like very psychological, and I love the way they fuck with time. You don't know how you legitimately. Willem Dafoe has that line from the trailer and in the movie. He's like, "How long have we been on this rock? 2 days? Whatever he says." You know what I mean? I love how they play.
A month, something.
I love how they play with that. How like Rob Pattinson's going crazy, and he's like they came, like that was 2 weeks ago. Like they came for us 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more I like it. Like when I first watched it, and I do think it's one of those movies too that like it demands like a discussion on it. It demands you to like talk to someone else who's watched it, get another opinion on it, and then that way you kind of learn to like it. I agree, and then you like it more. So like the more I liked it when I watched it, I didn't really like it, and then I talked to Adam about it, and I liked it more. And now Matt, hearing your opinion on it, I like it a little bit more. So it's just one of those things where you can get so many different things from the same scene, even.
And Mac, back to what you were saying, like outside of like all the, what does this stand for? What does this represent? It was like a really good cabin fever movie too. Just two guys stuck together. They don't know each other, doing a job. One of them is in charge of the other. Like, how would you cope with that? You know what I mean? The monologues, or I guess it's technically dialogue, but really it's a lot of the times when they're sitting. The only time they're together and talking is when they're sitting at the table, when they're sitting down to eat. There's no other scenes when they're really like having like long drawn out conversations together, and it's really not. It's more Willem Dafoe talking to Robert Pattinson, and in that way, they're just like these really grand monologues where William Dafoe is using not grammar, but
analogies.
Like he's talking about things like old sailor songs and prayers and cheers, toasts, and he's
like sea shanties.
And he's doing it all in this really cool and deep like accent, not accent, but like he's like the words, like when I was reading the subtitles, you don't get. If I was deaf and I was reading the subtitles, I wouldn't get what Willem Dafoe was saying a lot of the times, like the way it's supposed to be delivered, because a lot of the words in the way he was speaking are all strung together as one word, and instead of your, and like that kind of stuff. But in subtitles, a lot of the words are just written correctly. They're not written like they're spoken. So I thought you lose a lot of that, but it helps you decipher some of the shit, because some of the shit he says you can't fucking understand a word he's saying. And that's what I struggled the whole movie. I'm like, what the fuck are they even talking about? What are they even talking about?
Yeah.
So did you? I mean, to me, it seems like Pattinson too, depending on like what he had to do in the scene, like his accent had changed.
Yeah, he had a weird accent in this movie.
Like he had like there was a couple scenes where he had like a very big like Massachusetts accent.
I heard that. Yeah, I definitely heard the Massachusetts accent.
He was pronouncing things like very like instead of R like ah, and then there were other scenes where he was talking a little more like normal, not. But I don't know, and I don't know if that was him. Like if that was how they wanted it to go, but like accent wise, I felt like they kind of it varied based on what type of emotion they had to play.
Yeah. I think you're right. It did. I noticed that.
I think I was able to understand Pattinson better as the movie went on, and maybe that's like him opening up to Tom more. You know what I mean? Willem Dafoe's character.
Yeah.
I was able to understand him better, but I wanted to talk about. So I really liked I thought the black and white.
Yes.
Was really cool for this. It made a lot of sense. And I really liked. It's sort of weird, but in the background, like not randomly, I'm sure they were specifically placed, but like the ship horn blasts and like the thunder and the rain in the background really like set the background to each scene to like set you up for how intense it was.
Now,
get.
Ryan, did those sound effects bother you? Like something like Mr. Robot would bother you?
No. So the Mr. Robot that bothers me because that is like a very pure sound, where the Mr. Robot is like clearly something that they put on like a synthesizer. Yeah. Like that type of stuff bothers me. I don't mind like the bass or anything like that, but I like that. I thought that kind of added.
Adam, I'm curious to see what Ryan would think of Annihilation, specifically the last like 15 minutes. You know what I'm talking about, Ryan? If you ever watch Annihilation, Holly, I think would like it.
Hey, I mean, I haven't seen it since it was in theaters, and we don't have anything on the list for next week.
It's on my server.
It is on your server. It's on Prime too,
oh,
Ryan.
Perfect. Yeah.
I only watch it on that server.
Okay,
yeah, I'm down for that.
All right, well,
let me guess. Does it have something to do with aliens or sci-fi?
It is sci-fi. Yeah, it is sci-fi. I mean, you're not going to escape that with Adam and I. But yeah, it is sci-fi. But I thought it was very good. It's the same director, Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina.
That's not Natalie Portman, is it?
Yeah, and Oscar Isaac.
Right. So I attempted. Oh, all right. So I've seen the first 4 or 5 minutes on a plane, and then I fell asleep.
Okay.
So
well, a
plane's
different. You got to watch it. You got to watch it at your house.
And my headphones didn't work.
I'm gonna rewatch it too because I haven't seen it in a while. But I definitely want to rewatch that. Sorry, to go back to The Lighthouse. I thought Willem Dafoe. I'm gonna go back to like his monologues. I thought that they were fantastic. I thought the acting was. I thought the acting on his part, and this is not with no hyperbole, is incredible. I thought it was absolutely incredible. Like I believed the character that he says he was being, or like Robert Pattinson was saying, he's a big liar. All this stuff's just made up. But I believed him, I believed the character, and then I also believed that, this guy could be very insecure and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I liked it. I thought the 4x3 shooting was very good. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It wasn't widescreen. It was shot in a square.
I didn't notice, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think most of it was, I'll have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure most of it was shot in 4x3 instead of 6x9. So it was just a square, and there was big black bars on either side, which is not usually how movies are shot now. Thought that was very cool. The black and white effect, not effect, but like the way they shot in black and white was done very well. And it was just, weirdly, it was beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds weird. It's the movie where, like, there's a few scenes where, like, you show a bucket full of shit and piss and, you say it's beautiful.
Well, it was I think the black
at least it wasn't a bucket full of cum like the last Pattinson movie we watched.
That's very true.
The black and white, too, like, especially the dinner scenes, the way they lit, like, Willem Dafoe when he was giving those monologues, and nobody bulges their eyes like Willem Dafoe. And they would really just like light up his beard and his eyes, and it almost looked like he had nothing like above his eyes. Like he was just eyes and a mouth and a beard.
Yeah.
And like when he was like screaming those words, it just like enhanced it so much the way they lit it. I thought that was really.
How about
cool.
at the end when Robert Pattinson's burying him alive? and he's just continuing to talk, and he's eating dirt as it's getting. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, is that just like crushed up Oreos? Like, is it like is it just
I don't know.
Is it edible, or is he? And I would think to myself, I'm like, I feel like Willem Dafoe is probably having dirt thrown on him, and it's just going in his mouth, and he's chewing it, and he's talking, and I was like, oh, this is gross. This is gross.
I thought the same thing. They're like, all right, well, we're done. He's like, no,
more
keep
dirt.
throwing it in my mouth.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. So they're burying him. They're just gonna keep throwing dirt on his chest. But what if it goes in his mouth, and then the next fucking shovel scoop just right in his mouth? Oh, so good, so good. So yeah, I very much enjoyed this movie. I'm glad we watched it. I'm glad that I finally got around to it. If you guys haven't seen it, watch The Witch. It's not necessarily a horror movie. I just thought it was very good, and I think Robert Eggers is fucking an awesome director, and I think that he does a really good job with that genre. Whatever these two are.
Very creative guy.
They kind of like float in between horror, thriller, psychological, whatever. So, yeah, all right. You want to do thumbs?
Thumbs.
Let's do thumbs. I'm doing
all right. So when I first watched it, it was like that.
Yeah, I have to say that as well. Like, it took me, I just watched it recently, today, a few hours ago. But as I was... But
after talking, with you guys about it, I would go maybe a little higher than Extraction.
Adam, I'm with you. I think that I'm warming up to where you are. So high. I would give it an 80%.
An 80, yes, thank you. That's where I was going to.
I think an 80 is astute for this movie. I at first I had to warm up to it, but I think that it was very well done, and now hearing all the story, the Greek tragedy story, it makes sense.
I think more so than any movie I've seen recently, it definitely the more you talk, and the more you talk about it, I think the better it is. That definitely helps. Which is those are, like you said, Adam. Those are good movies. Those are movies that more people should make.
Are you gonna when you talk to Holly, are you just gonna ask her why she spilled the beans?
Time to spill the beans.
It's a great.
No, she's never gonna watch it, so it's just gonna be one of those things that she eventually kills me over.
She'll be screaming at over your dead body. Spill your beans. Hey, I also wanted another movie I watched that I like. We could put it as a. So you want to do Annihilation for next week?
Yeah, let's do Annihilation. But I think I'm also gonna watch Honey Boy.
Yes.
Okay. I did wanted to mention this, and I didn't put it on my list. So Jen and I we wanted to watch years ago. We went to Redbox when I was still living with my parents. We went to Redbox and rented Get Hard, and we're dying laughing. So whenever we want to watch something that we never seen that was that funny, we relate it to Get Hard, because that was for us, that was the gold standard of unexpectedly hilarious. We had no idea that movie was that funny. So we watched Stuber on HBO the other day with Batista and that Kumail Nanjiani. It wasn't Get Hard funny, but it was funny. It was very entertaining. So I highly recommend Stuber if you have a chance.
Okay.
Love me some Dave Batista.
Yeah, me too.
Batista is very good in it. Yeah. Very good.
He's a great actor. I like him.
It's basically remember that movie Collateral with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
It's like that, but a comedy.
Tom Cruise. Collateral is such a great movie.
That movie rules. That movie's awesome.
That's a fantastic movie.
Oh, man. I don't know why I always say I don't like Tom Cruise. I fucking love every single movie he's fucking in. I don't know why I say that. I always say it's like sauerkraut. Movies. I always say I don't like sauerkraut. I hate it. Every time I fucking get drunk and I'm in Providence, I'm getting sauerkraut hot dogs. I don't know what it is.
Subconsciously, you love him.
I do, because Tom Cruise fucking rules. He fucking so many.
And you haven't even seen Mission Impossible. Wait till you watch the Mission Impossible.
The first Mission Impossible is great. I saw it. It's awesome. It's just a matter of time.
But they get better. Each one gets better. It's insane.
That's crazy to me. That's wild. Okay, I think that's going to do it for the podcast. You guys have anything else you want to add?
No, I'm never going to speak again.
God. I hope not. We're going to do podcasting again next week. If you want to check this out, if you're listening to this in audio form, we also have a video. Hopefully it works correctly this week and I don't have to edit like a fucking dog. YouTube.com/TheAverageNobody. You can find the video version there. Audio versions on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on Google Play. It's on Stitcher Radio. It's all those places. That's all I got. Next week we're gonna watch Annihilation. I'm gonna watch Honey Boy, and we'll talk about other shit we've been watching too. So that's it for this week.
And Stuber if you get the
and
chance.
Stuber, yes. Is that wait? Did you say is that anywhere to watch? Is it on Prime?
It's on HBO.
On HBO.
Okay. So HBO. Streaming services.
I don't know. It might be on other stuff too, but that's where we watched it.
I'm sure you can find it on Amazon.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for this week. Talk to you guys soon.
Goodbye.
Wear your fucking masks. Don't be a dick.